it's Gayle and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please ensure to click the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. In my previous video, which is the same day that I made this video, yes, I spoke about or I laid emphasis on the words "it is well" and shed more light on these words. And in the video I said I was going to talk about, in my next video I wasn't certain, but I decided to just do it now. I said I was going to talk about things. I have a few list of things that you shouldn't tell someone who is grieving, who just lost somebody. Yes. um yeah, stay tuned. Okay, I'm sure we've all been in that situation whereby someone that we know loses someone there to them, and we are in a conflicting situation of what to tell them. I don't know about you, but me, I've been there before. Even before last year, I've had a lot of people that I know lose people dear to them, and it would like, most times I don't even like calling, say, because I feel like I do not have the words. Rather, I'll send text, and most times I'll have to think, because I'm trying to tread with caution, because I know that at this point they are very vulnerable. So they can take anything. They could probably take anything to heart, even if you don't mean it. So I'm always very cautious of what I am actually telling them. And most times, people might not intentionally want to hurt the person grieving, but it just so happens that the way they see things is different from the way the person telling them, trying to comfort them, is seeing it. So I'm just going to be, shedding light on some of these things so that you take notes and do not say these things. I'm talking from experience, because I think it's just one thing that actually upsets me. But besides that, I don't think let's just get right into the video. We'll get there. So the first thing is, I know how you feel. Yes, most times, and most times this statement comes from people who have also lost loved ones. And I understand where they're coming from, because okay, I've lost a loved one, so but one thing I want you to understand is that no, you don't. You do not know how I feel. You do not know how the other person feels. I feel like maybe you should say I can relate, but you don't know, because we grieve differently. If you, maybe when you were grieving, you went to maybe you collapsed and fell into depression, and the other person is already maybe excited. I don't know how to explain it though, but the main point is that we grieve differently. So please do not tell someone who is grieving, I know how you feel, because you don't. It will even trigger their annoyance. It will annoy them, because it's like, you don't know. And I felt that way. There was a point, I think, my friend, she didn't do it intentional. It was indirect, and it was not intentional. I wasn't really upset, but okay, I just felt like she saying those words, she was trying to comfort me, and she was doing it from a place of innocence. She was just trying to, be there. But it kind of like, okay, I felt like, oh, she had not lost someone, so why would she be trying to say, be saying that, I've forgotten what she said. It wasn't, see, on a normal, it was not something to be upset about. But just like I said, at that point you're vulnerable. So like any little thing, like it's like your emotions are heightened. So any little thing can trigger you. Like, so she was saying something like, I've really forgotten, but I know, like, I kind of found it upsetting, but later I just had to, because it wasn't something to be upset about. She wasn't saying it from a place of maybe trying to upset me. She was saying it from a place of love. So please do not say you know how you feel, because you do not know. We are two different people. We are different individuals. You might not feel pain at that point in time. The other person may feel terrible. The other person may feel numb. We feel different emotions when we are grieving. So you do not know. You can only relate. No two persons' griefs are the same. The fact that I lost my mom, you lost your mom too, does not mean we are feeling the same things. Yes, okay, the thing we have in common is that we lost our moms, but it's not the same. Yes, so number one, do not say I know how you feel. The next thing on my list is this statement. You're trying to comfort somebody and you're telling the person yours is better. Are you okay? It's like you're trying to compare situation. And I know, Sha, it's just normal we human beings. We like to, I don't know how to put it, we like to paint our own story so dark. Like you're trying to make the person feel like, oh, no, you are not enjoying, though. My own case is worse. I know I do it sometimes and it's wrong. I don't know if others will do it. Sorry, I have cold. I have down with catarrh. So sorry if I am sniffing and all of that. It's unavoidable. Yes, as I was saying, yours is better. Who told you yours is better? But as funny as this is, honestly, don't say it. I can imagine I'm going through something like I'm trying to understand what's going on, and you now come and tell me, don't, just your own is even better. Or my own self, about 9 people that like haba. Be sensitive now, be empathetic. Eh? So don't say that. Please don't say whatever it is, try not to. It's tempting. It's tempting. Sometimes even not even grief related. Sometimes your friend might be actually sharing a problem with you. Not even grief related. And you're like, and honestly, but it's something that I've been trying to train myself. I'm training myself that if when somebody out, don't even bring your own point or Abby your own story into it. They are the ones sharing story to you. Just encourage them in the best way you can, and don't even bring your own story into it. And the person is now shedding, telling you, okay, so this is what happened to me. I've been going through this, and you will now be like, oh, sorry, you even me too. My own self is even worse, so that kind of thing. Please, let us stop. That is witchcraft behavior. Let us stop. Yes. I am guilty, so I'm also talking to myself. Let us stop. Georg, stop. If you've been doing it, stop it. It's not good. Don't say yours is better. Because if yes, yours is better, the other person, probably okay, you feel like the other person's own is light. Quite alright, but the person at that point in time, the capacity, if you're in that capacity and you would be able to tolerate it or bear it, the other person may not be as strong as you are. And we funny enough, me and my friends had, a let's say a very heated conversation on these things. When I was talking about like, being able to handle some things, it's centered on your strength and weaknesses and all of that. Because a person may be in that situation and oh, okay, I was able to scale through, and the other person may not be. But anyway, that's gist for another time. I do not want to deviate, but the second point is do not, for any reason, say yours is better. Please don't. The next point, or the next thing to not tell someone who is grieving, don't cry. And I really want to center this to the men, because I feel like they are the ones that usually, let's say, face this persecution. Because society has this notion that, oh, you're a man, don't cry. And I've made a video on this thing years back when I was like, don't, the fact that you're a man does not mean you're not a human being. You are a human being before you are a man. So I don't know why people always say this thing, do not cry, especially when I don't wait to come to think about it. I just lost my mother. You're telling me not to cry. So what should I do? I should celebrate. No, oh God. I know, yes. The Bible says that we should not grieve like unbelievers and all of that. But let's just call it speed is speed. We are humans. Even Jesus wept when Lazarus died. So the first emotion you feel is to cry, and it's very, very okay. In fact, I used to say this thing that crying is therapeutic, because um there's this, when you cry, it's like a weight has been lifted up, off a bit up from your chest, basically. And it's so funny because somebody I once posted, I be posted something on my status, and it was saying something like, if you need to cry, cry it out. And don't, when you cry it out, don't just stay there. Make sure that you stand up and move. Basically, you crying does not show weakness, but it just shows you accepting that you are a human. It shows you accepting your humanity. But the point is that you should not just stay there and just sulk and cry all day, but make sure that once you've cried, you pick up the pieces and move on. And someone stormed into my DM and was like, instead of crying, why not laugh? Like, and I was like, crying is therapeutic. Like, What is wrong in crying? Why would you say I should laugh? I'm sad, I'm getting depressed, I'll now be laughing. Most people would think something is wrong with me. Next thing they'll take me to psychiatry hospital now. So please don't allow anybody tell you do not cry. It is therapeutic. I cry, I would like say I cry almost every day because yes, it still hurts. I have not moved on. I am still trying my best to I become to terms with what has happened in the past 1 year. And when I cry, I clean my tears and I'm back to, doing what I do. Sometimes I might just finish crying and I'll post a meme, a funny meme for that, and no one will know. But it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better. So please stop telling people who are grieving not to cry, because it's like they are bottling their emotions, and it can actually even lead to something more serious, because the person can even have a heart attack because they are trying to suppress their emotions. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm strong. I'm strong. Please, accept it. You've lost somebody. Cry your cry. It's justifiable. Please, even people that are not even close to you will cry for you. Say, talk more of you that is close to the person. Cry your cry. Cry when it comes. Cry it out. Let it out. But the most important thing is, do not allow the emotion you're feeling, don't allow it to linger for too long, because when you allow it linger for too long, that's when depression comes into play, and before you know, the thought of suicide and all these things come into play. So crying is therapeutic. So please, if you know someone, or you want to reach out to someone, please don't tell them don't cry. Please, in fact, encourage them to, because when they do, they will feel much better. So number 3, don't say do not cry. Okay, we are progressing. The fourth thing to not tell someone who is grieving. Now, this is directed to people who have lost a parent, either a dad or a mom. Um, the person is still coming to terms with the fact that, oh, I just lost my father, or oh, I just lost my mother. And you now be like, Mama, if your father wants to remarry you, you should allow him. Like, how insensitive can you be? Funny story. So, on my mom's burial, okay, they did the final interment, put her in the grave, covered it up. We're in the room now. People were coming to greet and all of that. In fact, I think that was when I even burst into tears. I didn't burst into tears when they were putting her, but when I went to the room, and that's when I was just so emotional and in my feelings. And when we're in the room, one woman would come, and this was barely an hour after they buried my mother. And the woman would say, "People should allow your father remarry you if he wants to remarry." Like, seriously? Like, honestly, God. She should just thank God. Number 1, we were emotional. Number 2, she's an elderly woman, because the things that would have probably come out of our mouths to her. Like, honestly, but that's why the Bible is always saying we should be careful with the tongue, because what comes out of the tongue, Like, why would you even say that? We need to really be sensitive, honestly. We need to really be empathetic as humans. Probably she didn't mean it that way, but why would you even say that? I'm serious, it wasn't even up to an hour after they had just buried my mom, and she was coming to say that. So you need to be very cautious of what you say. Even if it's a year after, wetin concern you, concern the father or the mother remarrying? What's your business? What's your business? Is he complaining? Is she complaining? When the father or the mother is ready to remarry, they will do it. When they feel they are ready, when they feel like, oh, okay, I'm ready to move on. But don't come and be singing it. And the funny part, she was not the only person, because after then, like, different people have been saying that. They'll be like, oh, we should not hinder our father. Oh. This is not even up to a year. Oh. They'll be like, we should not hinder our father if he wants to marry. Like, really? The man is still in love. He's still so in love with his wife. He's still grieving his wife. The children are still grieving their mother. It's not up to a year, and people are already doing this. We need to really, really be sensitive. We need to be cautious of what we say, honestly. So, yes, if you have, this is directly, like I said, to people who have lost either one parent or the other. Please don't say that. Don't be asking, oh, when's your dad going to marry? Why is he not married? Will he remarry? and all of that. It's not easy because even if it does, but it takes a lot, somebody coming to take your mother's place. It's a whole lot to deal with. So please don't put them under that pressure. If you're an elderly person watching this and you have a friend who is a widow or widower, please don't put that pressure on them to get married. When they want to, when they feel they are ready to, they will. Don't put that pressure and constantly remind them that, oh, you should marry you, this, that. When they want to, it's not a bad thing to remarry, don't get me wrong. But I feel like we shouldn't put those people under pressure. Let them heal first. And when they feel they are ready to move on, they will move on. So let's be cautious with our words, please. Let's really, really be cautious with our words. Thank you. All right. Okay, I think this is the second to last point. Yes. After this, if I remember other things, I'll make a part 2 of this video. Definitely. The next one is you're trying to comfort somebody. You can't tell the person it's not the end of the world. Did they tell you I don't know that it's not the end of the world? Why would you say that? Obviously, I know that it's not the end of the world. I know that yes, the fact that I lost someone does not mean the world is going to come to an end. Obviously, we're going to move on, but don't say that. Please don't add salt to injury. Don't. Whoa. Ha. Have you miraculously just seen? Ew, I think it's a fly or an insect. Ugh. So an insect was trying to actually bite me. And I thought my leg was itching me and I even killed the insect. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I just cleaned it off. So the insect was actually trying to bite me, or at least it succeeded in biting me. So I was trying to itch and I ended up killing it, which is victory. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Please don't say it's not the end of the world. Obviously, the person knows that it's not the end of the world, and they're just trying to just understand what's going on. See, the thing with grief, death is that when it happens, sometimes it doesn't dawn on you yet. It may take a while for you to start coming to terms with truly this person is no more. And you now reminding them and telling them it's not the end of the world. Yes, I know it's not the end of the world, but this is the end of this person. And I'm trying to come to terms with it. So please don't say that. Let's try our best not to say that. We all know it's not the end of the world. The end of the world will be when Jesus comes. It's not the end of the world. But please don't rub it in our faces. That is not the end of the world. Hey, the last point. Oh my god, if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. It means a lot. It means I'm not talking rubbish. I'm not just spewing rubbish from my mouth. Sorry, I'm just hyper today. I don't know why. But I am. And I pray it's contagious. I pray you also become hyper now as you're watching this. Okay, now, on the most serious note, the next point, you tell somebody who is grieving or is trying to, move on, is trying to pick up the broken pieces, the pieces that be the self that has shattered. He's picking it up gradually. You tell the person, oh, you're taking too much time to grieve. Or, you've not moved on. Really? Or, I expected that you'd have outgrown this. Really? Okay, see, I want us to understand that there's no time frame for grief. You can't put a time duration and say, okay, by this time, okay, this person lost somebody, so I'm projecting that in the next 5 months, this person would have moved on. This person will be okay. Newsflash, it doesn't work that way. See, like I said again, as I said before, and I'll say again, just as our faces are different, our battles are different, so are our capacity, our strength to handle things like this. Some people, it may take them a year. Not that they've moved past it, but they've been able to put themselves back together. They've been able to pick up the pieces. Some people, it take them 5 years. Some people end up in mental institutions before they finally, start recovering. So it's different for people. I want us to understand that. And I'm saying this, like I said, because I'm in that situation now. I probably didn't know maybe 2 years down the line because I had not experienced it. But now that I've experienced it and I've understood, understanding, I'm getting to know that it's different for different people, different strokes for different folks. So please, I know, yes, sometimes, maybe especially maybe when our friends, or partners, are going through a lot, it's kind of like changes them, and they may not be their usual self. They may not be the, all, jovial person they used to be. I'm not generalizing. Sometimes, some people, it may just change their personality. You find out that maybe if someone loses someone who is, an introvert, sorry, an extrovert may now become an introvert. It's just part of the grieving process. And I know sometimes we might miss our friends, oh my god, my friend is no longer the happy person she used to be. My partner is no longer, as caring as she would, and all of that. And because you miss them and you want them, and you may now start feeling, oh, they are taking too long. I know, yes, it may not be easy, but we need to understand them, that it's not easy for them too. And we can't really put a time frame or a time duration for them to say, okay, I'm giving you 2 years to heal and move on. You can't. In fact, I even know of someone whom has lost her mom for over 5 years, and trust me, she still wakes up every morning crying. She still wakes up every morning, she cries. So we tell me that, oh, 5 years you've not moved on. It just shows that you can't put a time frame. Some people have lost people for over 20 years and they still hurt. In fact, some people say will tell you that they didn't, it's been 30 years. You'll be like 30 whole years, and they'll tell you that they've still not gotten over it. It just shows you that you can't put a time duration. You can't rush somebody to recover. It takes time. And when you have people like this, I know, in as much as, like I said, you want your friend back, you want your partner back, the only thing or the best thing you can do for them is just to pray for them. Just pray that God grants them the grace to move on, the grace, the strength to be able to, bear the loss, the strength to be able to, get back to their old self. Like last year now, everything paused for me. Everything basically, even creating content. I wasn't just feeling it. But with God, hopefully when we entered this year, at least I started getting myself little by little. My friend even had to comment that before, when I would make videos, she could sense, that it wasn't genuine. But now she's beginning to see, myself, like the real me. She's beginning to see that I'm becoming better. You get? So please do not put a time duration. I know sometimes, you might be, you know, deep within, maybe the person may be taking time, but please don't rub it in their face that, oh, you're taking time to grieve, or, oh, you're still grieving. You've not moved on. I mean, you're trying to even compare them with other people. Please don't. As tempting as it can be, please don't. Well, that's all I have to say in this video, this few points. I hope this, you've been able to learn a thing or two from these few points that I've listed. And so this will guide us, when we are trying to approach people who are grieving, what to tell them, what not to tell them, and all of that. I don't know, maybe I might do a video on some things you can actually tell somebody who is grieving from my own POV. Yes. But yeah, these are just a few. If you have any more contributions, if you have contributions on things, other things that people should not tell people, please lay that in the comment section so we can learn, so I can know, we can learn. We're here to learn, because I don't know everything. There's some things that, okay, I might have said and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know that it was offensive. So please lay it down in the comment section. If you have any contrary opinion to what I have said, please also lay it in the comment section. Please, let's have a tete-a-tete. Let's chat in the comment section. I'll really be excited to read your comments. And yeah, thank you for watching my video. I really hope you have been inspired. Yes. And yeah, see you in the next one. Have a very, very beautiful day. And please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, see you in my next episode.